that you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Calendar finished.
Oh dear. Oh, what a dreadful shame. No doubt you have another.
I do, in fact, two. There's two different
wow,
ones. Wow,
that's amazing.
That white clean one.
Hello.
Hello there. Welcome to the Flash and Blood podcast. Doobie doo doobie doo 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 booby doo 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 doobie 1984. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. We have we just have Dr. Sinister. We have a guest chief scientist.
Hello again.
From Staggering Stories, the lesser of the two Crawley shows.
It's a Crawley show. I suppose it is today.
It is a Crawley show. Oh, what? Are we back on the whole Cottesmore Green thing?
No. I was just thinking, normally it's not majority Crawley.
Is Crawley twinned with the town of Creepy?
Dorsten.
It should be.
Dorsten in Germany.
It is in Dorsten. I've been to Dorsten too.
So it's real then?
It is real.
Wow. Does it look like Bewbush?
It's not that similar to Crawley, I would have said.
Okay, then. But in German.
Long time ago, it's twinned.
What was I going to say? Oh, yes, we have Know the Brian this evening, I'm afraid, guys. He's not too well. I think Adam and I finished him off last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a man of great stamina.
No. You can make of that what you will. Right then, so the quiz. What possible relevance to the show does that song lyric I did at the start of the show have? You've got until the end of the show to tell me.
Well, John Hurt was in 1984.
Yes, it was.
Do I win a lolly?
No. You're going to have to think a little bit more trickier than that.
So do a Scooby-Doo? I don't know.
Scooby-Doo was in 1984? Jesus, Hanna-Barbera, it went dark. Ooh, I couldn't say that. Oh, dear. Anyway, so, yes, 101st show, hooray! I think it's Airborne or something, I don't know. Right, first things first, Stormtroopers are out, aren't they? Snowtroopers. Lego Snowtroopers.
Oh, battle packs, yes.
Mm-hmm. I've got to get you one of those.
You don't have to.
Mm-hmm. You got me Daleks. I need to get you Snowtroopers. Right then, so what have you been up to this week? Let's go to our guest first.
Oh, editing a podcast, mainly. Not very exciting. There we go.
There are so many comments I could make to that.
I did get a preview of the new Kenneth Branagh film. But
I didn't know there was a new Kenneth Branagh film, if I'm honest with you, love.
Yeah, it's not very genre. It's based on his first few years of life when he was living in Belfast. It's called Belfast.
Any good?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's
about the Troubles in 1969, 1970 time.
Those were very, 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 very dark times.
They had to flee to London, yeah.
And the IRA followed them. So they were responsible for Doctor Who and the Seven Keys to Doomsday not doing well.
Was that was it an IRA problem that stopped?
Yes. Hello, Christian. It was an IRA problem. There was bombings in West End, so theatre audiences were down, so they just didn't tour it.
Well,
Dr. Sinister.
now it's COVID.
Yeah, now there's COVID. Dr. Sinister, what have you been up to this week?
I'm currently playing Evil Genius 2 on my PS5.
Are you winning?
Oh.
Very much so. I just like walking around my base and going, this is my base.
This is the dinosaur pits. This is the lava mound. This is...
I do want to dig down a bit in my house.
You see, the thing is, you would love Second Life. Not that part of Second Life, which is scary. But you could build your own secret underground base and really do it well. I mean, I've got a superb Pertwee TARDIS in there. Pertwee TARDIS control room. Which is just... It's even got the MFI cupboards.
Oh dear.
But you open them up and you get different coloured velvet jackets you can wear.
Ah.
Nice touch. Anyway, so what have I been up to this week? If I've done anything, I've actually forgotten about it. Let's put it like that.
You are not willing to tell anybody about it.
I've got nothing
So
to
top
tell.
secret.
I've got nothing to tell. It's terrible. Right-yo-ho. Any luck on the quiz?
I've spotted a connection.
Go on.
John Hurt was in 1984 and he was the Doctor.
Yes. There is a chance I may have said that's not the connection I'm looking for.
Worth a
You
try.
will tell me. You will tell me.
You will tell me.
The word.
Don't tell him.
Right. Yeah, news. I'm sure there was some Doctor Who news. Oh.
And
Did we mention Michael Troughton taking over as the second Doctor?
No,
Yes, I think we did.
I don't think we did.
I seem to
don't
remember
remember.
sitting here saying to you lot, it makes sense. I should imagine he's probably one of only two people Fraser Hines would step down for, either Michael Troughton or David Troughton. Oh, who has made that hellish ponk?
a ponk.
It's a hellish ponk. And again, if you know where that's from, let me know.
No.
Someone has made a hellish
Pong,
ponk.
yeah.
Oh dear. Oh. Cat litter box is just down there, you see. Right. Okay. We do need to announce something. We hereby announce to the world the start of Glorious Project 3, Operation Ethel. You got to name the last two. And that was Arcturus and
Gemini.
Gemini. So this is Ethel.
In 3D?
It could be. Possibly.
Is it Ethel with spelled ETH3L?
Yeah.
All your base are belong to us. Yes, but Glorious Project 3. Are we going to say what Glorious Project 3 is?
I don't think so.
We're not going to say. We told them about the others, but we're not going to tell them about this one.
Okay.
I don't know. No, I'm asking.
Oh. Well,
You
Please
normally are
tell.
in charge of publicity for these things.
do tell.
Oh, all right then. We're going to be taking some holiday snaps.
Okay, where are you going? Skegness?
Basingstoke.
Basingstoke.
Yeah. It's almost as good as Skegness.
Home of the roundabout.
Yeah. A few beaches in
It's just
Basingstoke.
our collections have expanded. I've got, as I mentioned last week, I've now got what I want. And I can now start. I want to take some photographs of them, but some moody photographs, especially with the Spiridon Daleks.
Tasteful photographs.
We need white card for the Spiridon Daleks because the Spiridon corridors were white and they just look so good. And if you get the lighting right with the shadows, it would be. My advice is to watch Planet of the Daleks and look at the Dalek movement, what David Maloney did with the lights, and I think it was David Maloney, and the Daleks moving through the light and dark of the corridor. Yeah. Oh. That's interesting. We were up to 3 viewers. We're back down to 1. I don't know if it's Christian or the Russian bot.
Could be the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan.
They haven't got the internet anymore.
Well,
Or
they've
are
got
you
some
waiting
trouble.
for a call? Dear me. Tut tut. Yes. Listen, old man Purcell. Yeah, that's you.
Listening. Can't hear anything.
You mentioned going back to Eve.
Eve Online, yeah, I have resubbed for a month.
This wouldn't have anything to do with the Daleks, would it?
It would be entirely to do with the Daleks, yeah.
Because I only found out about this tonight.
Oh, okay. I thought I mentioned it. You also didn't pick up on it.
No. Thing is, I honestly don't know if my ships are up to it. I can shield tank, but it's still Tech 1 stuff, not Tech 3.
It's designed that newbies can play at least a part of it. Should be fine.
Shit, I'm going to have to go back into EVE Online, aren't I?
You don't have to sub. You can play for free, although it restricts some skills you can use and craft you can play with and stuff like that. But
Ooh, I don't want to lose my ships.
it's $11.99 a month now.
Actually, that sounds cheaper.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, I always thought it was about $14.99.
Oh.
I could be wrong. If you know, tell us.
I remember it used to be $8.99 back in the day for WoW and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah, that was like the
It went up
standard,
to
wasn't it?
£10 and yeah.
Now, though, I don't think there's a set thing because everyone is doing their own thing, whether it be pay to win
Yeah.
or free to play. I mean, look how mean this Star Wars, The Old Republic free to play
Yeah, it was.
system is. You've got to at least spend something in their shop to open up enough to make the game playable. Properly playable. So,
Yeah. Not cheap, that license, I'm sure.
Sid, have you ever played EVE Online? It's a massively multiplayer online spreadsheet.
You and I tried to play it once when there was a free evening some years ago,
We must try this again.
and we didn't think much of it, and it was very, very. The learning curve was more like a cliff.
Yeah.
It's useful if you got somebody with the ships, a decent ship with you. Oh, it lights up.
It does light up. It glows when it's charging.
What is this Wordle thing? I keep seeing on
Wordle?
Facebook, which looks like that.
I don't know.
Okay, Karen posted one. And I
yeah,
just
she
thought,
did,
oh,
didn't she?
hello, she's having a spasm. She's reached that age now.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I can't believe we haven't got any news. And I can't believe we haven't got a Brian.
Yeah. This is the first time.
Possibly first or second.
Yeah.
It must be bad for him not to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Brian. Get well, sweetheart. And then Retta. We can't expect Retta to tune in this evening because a lorry went through her in-law's house.
Very
As you
convenient.
do.
Yeah. Round here it tends to be buses, but yeah.
Yeah. Basically, a lorry's driving along the road. There was a sudden ice storm, which they have in America, apparently. And the lorry decided to go off the road and through their house whilst they were there.
And given it's a flimsy little wooden thing, trailer.
How they weren't hurt is a miracle. If Brian was here, or Retta was here, I'd ask if I could show the photos. But they're not, so I can't. But
Brian's not here. I was going to ask him what he thought of Perry's accent in The Mysterious Planet.
Oh. Do you think it was different? I haven't watched it in a while.
she has
It
changed.
fluctuates.
It does. Well, in Kate Randazani, it started fluctuating.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian's in chats.
Oh, hey,
not
Brian in
dead.
chat.
He's
Or
not
somebody's
dead.
impersonating him.
Ooh, that's true.
The Russians again.
Okay, so basically, tonight, gentlemen, get it all off your chest, say what you like about him. All right? You won't know. You could ask your question of Brian now.
And what did you think of Perry's accent in The Mysterious Planet?
We will find out any second now. There will be either a loud clack, clackety, clack, 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 clack coming from New York State, or there's going to be a loud moan of, oh, don't make me do anything. Let's see which one we get. Have you guessed the answer to my question yet?
I have got a connection.
Go on.
John Hurt was in 1984, and he also played the Doctor.
He did. The War Doctor.
That's correct, but it's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. I'll
Keep
on thinking.
asking. Oh dear. Right, Brian. The I'll give you the lyrics. I don't know if you caught them. What do you mean abysmal? Oh, Perry's accent. Perry's accent was abysmal, Sinister.
I thought so too, and I'm not even American.
Yeah, Yeah, but we're allowed to judge American accents.
Hadn't played the character for months, presumably, and just
Well, yeah, it was 18 months, wasn't it?
yeah.
Which was too long to wait, apparently. So, doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie 1984. Those are tonight's song lyrics, Brian. How do they link up with tonight's show? There we go. And that's in case anybody missed it. Shall we do what we came here to do? We mentioned it. Why don't we? It could be interesting. And now, from the World's BBC Television Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. I've noticed something very interesting. We're
What?
16 and a half minutes into the show. All right. Normally when the Brian's here, we go at least half an hour before going into the Doctor Who section. Something is very telling this evening. Beware the penguin.
Are you saying it's Brian's fault?
Yeah. I told you can say what you like tonight. Doesn't matter. And say it loudly so he won't hear it. He'll be in too much pain. Charlotte, what are you doing? You found a new spot to sleep on. You strange little girl. Right. So a Doctor Who of some kind has turned up on the planet Ravalox, which has the same gravity, tilt, and period of rotation that Earth does, but it's in a completely different part of the galaxy. And there was a firestorm,
Well,
but it doesn't look that burnt.
I'll pick up on that galaxy bit later if I may.
Okay. Anyway, underground there are the Sleepers, and they're controlled by Drathro, the L1 robot.
Well, the sleepers are dead.
Yes, and quite so. Basically, oh, is this migraine alcohol related, Brian? Anyway, so. Come on, it's Trial of a Time Lord, episodes 1 to 4. I'm not going to tell you the plot. If you haven't seen them, what the hell are you doing watching this? Quite frankly. You know? This is Robert Holmes, touching on a couple of things he'd done before. For example, the high brains being given to the robot in the castle. That's the Crotons all over again. And then Gunrunners with Rom Dutt from The Power of Kroll. So in this we got the introduction of Sabalom Glitz and Dibber.
Yeah.
We never see Dibber again, and it's a shame because they do make a good double act.
They
I
do.
like Dibber.
And Glitz in this has that psycho side to him. Whereas...
He's a bit more cuddly later on.
yeah, it becomes more cuddly.
Yeah.
More, he's a space pirate, look at him.
Enough that Mel wants to go off with him for some reason, but yeah.
Operated by Mike Kelt, Christian. I know that because he was on Blue Peter and Janet Ellis introduced him, because that's her pa, as she calls him. I have no life. No life at all. So, Doctor Who, the series itself, was on trial. What a better way to come back than to actually put the programme on trial.
What better way to get people interested in the programme than by having a 14-week epic fucking story that you have to sit through and watch the entire thing to make any sense of? And even then...
Even then. There are a lot of problems with this series. Not so much on Mysterious Planet, episodes 1 to 4. We're going to be doing trial all the way through to the last episode, week by week. First 4 episodes this week, Mind Warp next week, etc. So we'll mention the problems when we get there. Or rather go into detail.
Yeah. One big problem being that there are far fewer episodes.
Well, yes, 14 episodes.
There were actually 14 last season.
Yeah, but that was the thing. We're giving you another 14 episodes. Yeah. But
Who remembers that headline for 14?
I do. Good old DWB, or dreadfully written bullshit, as I called it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Apparently Gary Lee turned up at a Capital convention
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. I didn't
I bet
say
he was
anything to him.
popular.
We don't see eye to eye. We never have. And frankly, I think he's forgotten about me, which is probably just as well. I used to scare him. Gary Lee, or Levy, take your pick.
Yep.
Changed his name so JNT couldn't sue him, or the BBC
Yep.
couldn't.
I'm sure it doesn't work that way.
Denied it, of course. Said it was an old family name, if I recall
Something
correctly.
along those lines. However,
Yep.
if you read the Richard Marsden biography of JNT, a little bit of that gets explained.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it's not that pleasant.
Yes.
So,
Definitely have memories of him at, what was it, Carousel, causing a lot of upset in the dealer's room. Yeah.
I do remember Gene telling us JNT and Gary were in the gents, and all you heard was "you bastard" from Gary, and he came storming out. So, I don't know. Ooh, bit of fan gossip there from the early 90s.
Fun times, eh?
Oh, they were the days. When can I keep saying this, we need some sort of fandom archive. All the stories, the jokes, the pranks we got up to, the awfully big adventures. You know, all that's being
much
lost.
could-
It's a whole society's history. Vanishing.
Yeah. How much can you publish of that stuff? These may have to be changed to
Well, yes.
protect the guilty.
That's fair enough, but it's the essence of the actual story that you want. You know, like Andy Lane and I think Craig Hinton, possibly Peter Angelides, if I've said that right. Driving up to Manchester desperately, or Liverpool, desperately trying to age up a script they'd written. Pouring tea on
Okay.
it and this, that, and the other, rumpling up and everything else like that.
Why?
Eh?
Why?
All fub. It was a lost Terry Nation script. The first script for his American thing, Dalek thing. They call it the Destroyers.
Yeah.
And it fooled a lot of people, except the authors had set themselves the tasks.
Oh, is this the one where they have to have the names of all the Dalek stories?
Every Dalek episode.
Yeah. Okay, I
And
remember.
you know, there's some stuff great, but then when you get to Coroners of the Sun, I say that could have been a Dennis Spooner one.
And
You get the idea.
didn't they have? There was something about the Keys of Marinus, the Keys Hoff Marinus or something.
Something along those lines. Oh dear me! Right, Brian. I'm not sure who he is. Says that the Valiard wears a section uniform. Right. Best put that right. The section wear a Valiard uniform. Cried
Who are
Frank.
the section?
I think he means the division.
Division.
Oh, division, right? Yeah. The first division woman we saw, I forget her name now. She had a very Valiard-like outfit. Didn't she?
I did think that, yes.
Yeah.
I did. Good lord, is that Hard Rock Cafe Gallifrey?
This one, yes.
Oh, that's a new one. I had one of the
Death Star ones.
originals. I had one of the originals back in 1990. Haven't got it now. Haven't got those red socks now either. I miss those red socks. They were lovely. Anyway,
So is it true that ILM was involved in that initial model shot? Or was that just...
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I'm not sure it is true. I've heard that, but I've never saw anything to back that up.
First I've heard of it.
I think it's
Yeah.
the first I've heard of it too.
Okay.
Don't take that as
Make these
gospel. I mean,
Yeah.
You know.
You can see why people say it, because it does look so good.
Yeah.
People were raving about it at the time.
the best,
Yeah.
one of the best special effects. Certainly the best visual effect.
Model effect.
Model
shot,
effect that the classic series had. And I reckon it will stand up today as well.
It's interesting that because it was a motion controlled camera, but the model isn't actually that big.
It is.
It's not when you consider the size of a camera.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the model's bigger than my arm span.
Oh yeah, but
That's pretty.
think about the size of a standard TV camera back then.
Yeah,
It would be a film camera, wouldn't it?
it would be
Rather
shot
than
on film. Yeah. It's very impressive, nonetheless.
Oh yeah, great thing to open with.
Yep.
And I don't care. I've said this before. I will say it again. I think the fact that Dominic Glynn did a couple of stories this year with the incidental music meant that his theme tune had somewhere to go. He matched the theme tune's ambience with his music.
Okay, yeah.
As a result,
More mysterious.
I think it fits in. I think that particular theme tune, just for trial, is spot on.
Yeah, and it is a one-season theme tune.
It is. And then they got Kev McCulloch in, and we won't talk about that.
No disrespect to Dominic Glynn, though. I don't dislike the theme, but it does sound a little bit like someone swilling water around in a pan.
What I need to do is to send you the remix.
I can.
There have been several remixes. Dominic himself has done some. He's also done the Gallifrey mixes, which are quite good. But Danny Stewart worked with him and did what you call the Cosmos mix, where they finally get the bass line right. Four notes, not three. The first thing I ask Dominic every time I interview him. What have you got against the 4-note bass line? Anyway. So, come on then. Guest Purcell.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to an ordinary Purcell, of course. What do you make of the mysterious planet? Please say a hat.
Brooch, pterodactyl.
Yep.
Not one of my favourites, but then I've never been a great fan of the historicals.
It's not historical, is it? No.
It's actually set in the future, but it has the trappings of a historical.
Yes.
It's a primitive tribe.
The tribe of the free.
Yeah, with Joan Sim hamming it up a bit. And then you have...
That's what you get.
Yeah. And then you have the really bizarre people who live underground. Was it Humka and Tandril or something?
Tandril.
Yeah. I can see what they're going for. It's just a bit too bizarre for me. As something which is meant to come back with a big bang to tell people, here, Doctor Who is back. Look how great it is. You know why you didn't want it cancelled. Here it is.
It's a shame they weren't on film for the outside stuff.
Yeah,
I imagine that would have took a lot longer than the OB, because there's an awful lot of location work on this.
Yeah.
I watched it and I thought there's something slightly off with it and I can't place what it is. But I have that feeling with the Colin Baker series, a little bit of Peter Davison's as well.
Okay.
And I still put it down to Eric Saywood scripting, editing, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Me and that lesbian are going to have to turn around and have a good old chat at some stage.
But having said that...
Oh, sorry, you're carrying on. Good.
You have, I was going to say, you have the great characters we already mentioned of Glitz and Dibber, who without them, I think this would have been a total...
I agree.
Mess.
I agree totally.
They really elevate it.
To a high... futility to a high art.
Indeed. A great double act there again from Robert Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the interesting stuff, potentially interesting at the time anyway, of the trial.
Yes, I was going to turn around and say once Sin had said his thing. We'll come back to the trial itself. All right, Sin, talk to me about the mysterious plant.
I like the mysterious planet, actually. I like it a lot more than the next 4 episodes, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
It's putting the trial bit to one side.
Yeah, for a moment.
The story, it's just your typical run-of-the-mill Doctor Who stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you say, you know, doesn't really have an impact, but it's a good story. It rattles along quite quickly. The dialogue is amazing.
That's Robert Holmes. What do you expect?
Dibber and Glitz, the fantastic, like you say, Robert Holmes. There's sparkling dialogue. I like Drathro. I like the L1 robot. They're very well done. You know, I don't really have a big problem with with the mysterious planet part of the story.
Would you suggest it's possibly overlit?
In the underground bits, certainly, but they do make up for that in the actual Marble Arch.
Marb Station. Oh no, Marble Arch itself. Yes.
Yeah, in Marble Arch itself, that's quite well lit. I mean, if you were
Hasn't
going
got
to
a
have
green mound anymore.
I mean, as someone who owns an underground base, you need them well lit. Otherwise, people start tripping over things, and then you'll break the water.
Surely you have coverage for this.
Couple of things I noticed that I did think of, actually. The Doctor picks up a water jug, and there are 6 guys hidden behind doors.
Yes.
Were they just waiting for him?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what they do.
And there's another scene later on.
We're going to leave the water out, but you're not allowed to touch it.
And there's a scene later on as well where Tom Chadburn,
Merdine, yeah.
is talking with Grell, and there's 2 bits of decoration on the wall. They are the inner casings of CD cases just stuck on the wall. I imagine
that's what happened to the other bit you had.
I imagine CD cases weren't a very common thing back then, but it's quite.
So CDs are 84. They kicked off with Brothers in Arms, didn't they? So this is 86.
It's quite funny to see just random CD cases stuck to the wall as kind of technological decoration, you know.
That's what I had left over from the shops around the area.
Yeah. I thought the location work was okay.
That was beautiful.
You know,
I still think it would look better on film, but there we go.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But I like the fact that the Doctor and Perry's relationship is no longer this.
Yes,
bickering.
I mean they started to address it in Revelation, but now there's a warmth to their relationship.
Yeah, they've clearly had a lot of time together in the intervening period. Perry's accent is of course terrible and fluctuates randomly at various intervals.
Time traveling does that.
Yes, that's
Joan
what it is.
Sim, I thought Joan Sim was okay. She was all right. You know,
Did you like Broken Tooth? He's a relative.
Broken Tooth was okay. Don't really have an issue. Tumka and Handrail, or whatever the fuck they're called, they were mildly amusing.
I love the fact the
suppose.
Doctor has a little plushy teddy bear in his pocket.
Yeah. I like that bit. Yeah.
He's the sort of Doctor you could see with a teddy bear going like that.
I don't. It's an unremarkable story. The only thing I will say, and I'm going into trial territory now.
Oh well, we'll go there. So bring the trial in. What do you make of the trial?
So this is a little bit of a spoiler for what's coming up
for a 1986 Doctor Who story.
Yeah,
okay.
There are elements of the Valeyard's presentation that are bleeped out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck would so basically the whole point of the Doctor's trial is that part of the reason the Time Lords are trying to cover up the Doctor's stumbled into the whole Ravelock situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why would you use that particular story event as part of your evidence?
Remember the Valeyard's plan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cause insurrection on Gallifrey and take over using the Matrix.
I thought he was mainly concerned with just getting the Doctor's lives.
Oh, there's that as well, but you know, why do one when you can do both? And then, of course, the Master turns up, spoilers, and it's a case of they're both wanting insurrection on Gallifrey. Need to address something the Brian has typed in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dear. Good luck with this one, boys. So, in the future, does the Valeyard fall under the sway of the Division again, or was that before an early incarnation of him? So basically, where does the Valeyard fit into the whole the Division thing? I don't think he does.
I doubt he does.
He's his own thing. He's an agent of chaos.
Exactly.
I don't imagine he would know anything about the Division.
No.
Well,
I don't know. It's so nebulous where he was meant to come in the timeline. Obviously, it's all been wiped away now.
Or has
between your 12th and final incarnation?
Well, 12th and final, given she now has infinite regeneration, is a heck of a long time.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah. On the topic of the trial scenes, I think this is my favourite segment of the whole trial
really?
series. Again, the dialogue, the visceral dialogue.
I knew you were going to head to that. It's Robert Holmes again.
Yeah, between the Doctor and the Valeyard. I mean, the whole Doctor's rant when he goes off about the Knacker's Yard and all that kind of stuff. He plays it really well, and the Valeyard is such a fucking creep. And what I love is that whenever he sits down and looks at the Doctor, there's always this glint. They got the lighting in his eyes. He just looks. He looks a wrong one right from the first moment. You know.
He is great. Michael Jason is great.
Yes,
he is. He is,
and he claims to be a doctor.
Yeah, and Linda Bellingham, you know, when she was cast, I thought, oh, okay,
The Oxo woman, yeah,
bit of stunt casting there, but she's okay. She does a good job.
Doesn't have much to do, bless her. To be fair,
really.
No, I will point out one thing. There's a lot of extras in the trial scenes. All the Time Lords sitting at the back.
That's the BBC committee.
There's a guy sitting on the right,
yes,
who is clearly meant to be keeping some kind of record of the trial.
Right.
He's just reading a book.
Perhaps that's how Gallifreyans do things.
It's just
mentally projecting into the book.
Yeah, maybe. It's just a shame that we go from that amazing opening scene into a bit of a crappy set, to be honest. The Doctor stumbling out of the TARDIS. It just, you know.
Overlit again.
Yeah.
Once the lights come up on it, it's overlit.
You know what I thought? Do you know what I always thought that? You know, the Doctor's in his own little dock bit, and the Valeyard's in his own little dock bit, and the Inquisitor's in her own little bit, and there's blackness in between. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was just a bottomless void beneath them?
But this is it. I mean, look at the first trial at the end of the War Games.
Yeah.
Right, there wasn't that sort of thing, but they had that aura about them. That's
power,
the sort of but I mean, it would have. The thing is, doing it like that would have almost made it look like the trial of General Zod from Superman.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
Christian has said something. There are layers to this, even more because of flux. This is to Christian. Brian's agreed with him, but we don't pay any attention to that. There are enough grey areas to make it all work. Just his view, though.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor, you can retcon anything any way you want to.
Canon is what you think it is.
Yeah.
Sod anybody else. Thank God. We fucked. Doctor Who's canon is fucked up so badly, you can just pick and choose now. You know.
I must say, all the trial scenes in this work relatively well.
We will come to them. They become very irritating, don't they?
Yeah.
They cut back at the right point. I will say a couple of the cliffhangers were pointless because they show the Doctor in peril in a scene that we know is recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that. And the thing we got about the trial, the trial cliffhangers is basically quick, big close up on Colin Baker.
Yeah. Well, and can I point out that it takes the Valeyard a whole 23 minutes to say, let's not have a trial, let's kill the fucker. He doesn't. Yeah. He's not a very patient man, is he? The Valeyard.
You'd noticed that, had you?
You know, the end of episode 1, he's like, "No, this isn't the trial anymore. We're going to kill you." It's just like,
what did you try and think back to when you first saw it before you knew who the Valeyard was?
Yeah.
What do you make of him now? Before then, what did you make of him then? Before we knew all the nonsense.
I mean, I think we were kind of, I say, lucky in inverted commas to have this story in an age before the internet, because that would have been spoiled, or there would have been speculation, or
we had DWB.
Yeah, but we were just able to watch this, and I had no idea the Valeyard was who he turns out to be.
No, that was a great shock.
When the Master comes in episode 13 and says, or the Valeyard, or as I've always known him,
and it's a throwaway line, isn't it?
Exactly. And I was sitting with a friend, and I was like, "Hang on, did he
hear
just
that right?
What?" That was amazing, I have to say.
You see, little moments like that. But we're talking about a mysterious plant.
At the time, I can't remember really thinking much about him other than that he just seemed a wrong un.
Yeah.
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 Adam,
I did
thoughts
like
on
the way
trial?
I did like the way he played off against Colin. Those two really,
Well, they're old
really
friends.
did a great job. Yeah.
So,
And maybe you can tell. I don't know, but
Some amazing
class
lines. The Valiard is just so. The line, the crime was in being there.
Yeah.
yeah, great line.
yeah,
Great line.
Fantastic
One Keith
line.
reused.
yeah.
Yeah, there's enough grey areas, says Christian, to make it all work. Again, still his view. Oh,
The
probably
Valiard in general. Yeah.
I think so. The Valiard isn't a settled thing. He's appeared once.
Yeah. Although he makes no sense now because he doesn't need to get Doctor's final regenerations because the Doctor has infinite regenerations.
Yeah, but
apparently.
he is not. The thing is, the Valiard isn't a whole incarnation. He's a construct.
It's almost
They go into it a little bit in Big Finish, especially the Sixth Doctor, The Last Adventures.
Yeah. I forget.
They go into it a little bit
That's-
more about him. And it's
Yeah.
quite a good way that they explain his regeneration as well.
Involving the
Oh, yeah.
Valiard. Yeah.
We should have done. Oh, no, hang on. That would have been during the quiet time. That's a shame. Which reminds me, got to talk to you about something afterwards. Or during this, I don't know. Brian's there. We'll talk about it in a moment.
It does feel to me that possibly the Valiard is the definitive villain for the Sixth Doctor,
Oh, without doubt.
which is why Big Finish have brought him back so many times
Yeah.
against Colin.
You'd be stupid not to, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's a very Colin Bakery show tonight. I wonder what that is. A Colin Bakery show, is that? Little Colin cakes coming out on a roller thing. I don't know where I'm heading with this. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know.
So, thumbs up
have you
for
been
episodes 1 to 4 of Trial of a Time Lord, or just or oh?
It's gonna. Yeah.
I would kind of.
Oh, hang on a second. I think that's International Sign Language for turning left. Or, no, you were riding a little bike there, Adam. Right.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before. Where did we get up to reviewing Capaldi? Did we do season 8 and then not do season 9?
You and I did the first series on the Vidiprog,
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
and then the Vidiprog stopped, and I don't know what happened after that.
Okay, well, there wasn't anything until this. Well, in that case, oh, too bad, Brian. We need now to start catching up with modern day Who. There are series we have not reviewed. There's the last two Capaldi series, and there's the first Jodie Whittaker series as well, which we haven't done. I'm open to bribery, Brian. Just putting it out there.
What's he bribing you with?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Trouble is, I don't really have an Xbox. I need an Xbox. Xbox One. It doesn't have to be able to play games. It just needs to work as a media center. That's all I'm after it for. I don't play games on the Xbox or on the computer much nowadays either. Yes, I'm looking into that. It's. I'm waiting for a reply from somebody. No, Brian. No.
Adam, there's a big bright light next to your head.
Oh no!
There's two actually. He's on tattooing.
It's my other monitor. Got a monitor here. Got a monitor there. Got a monitor over here. Come on. There we go.
See, I'd like my lighting to be like the one from the Pertwee title sequence.
I've got a monitor over
Both
there,
sides
but
with
that's my
shadow down the middle. Right. Okay. Big Finish.
Big Finish.
Oh, next week we're doing parts 5 to 8 of Trial of a Time Lord, otherwise known as Mind Warp. And that's when things start to get a little bit iffy.
And I will have different things to say about that sequence.
Yeah, not my favourite. Though my favourite is Terror of the Verboids.
Well, I was going to say, we were talking about the trial scenes. There's a cut of Terror of the Vervoids on the Blu-ray collection, which takes all the trial stuff out and just presents it as a Doctor Who story.
I've never watched it that way, but yeah, there is.
Anyway, gotta talk quickly about Big Finish. See what Brian's written in chat. Hawkmen dive. Rumnik. I say we, ended up just being me. Tried to listen to the new Blake 7 Babe and the Butcher set. 3 stories. Set in Baben's past. During the past slightly, because it's Travis #1 as well, and then his future after City at the End of Forever. The first one was with Jenna, and I find Jenna incredibly dull. I am so sorry, Sally Nivette, but the character just wasn't there. Doesn't matter what you do with it, if it's not there, it can't be. The second one is with the first Travis. The two of them trying to outwit each other. The third one I managed to listen to, it had Villa in it.
Always good.
Michael Keating's always worth it.
Yeah.
Father of Ronan, you know. Just kidding.
Ronan who?
Rivron. The it's good. Basically, Baben is out to settle scores, and he's basically got himself a hunting estate, which is his ship. He managed to get himself this beautiful ship somehow.
Can I just pause a minute?
Yes, please.
You said there's a story after City at the Edge of the World.
Yes. Sorry, I detract, didn't I? Sorry, yes.
It blew up.
Yeah, they explained that.
He got better.
With one bound, he was free.
Okay.
That's science fiction. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It's a lot of fun. Colin Baker at times. We've said over the years on this show that Colin has slowly started to sound his age. He's the one who possibly has vocally aged a lot more than the others, though Davison has as well, deeper voice and whatever.
Yeah, I thought he sounded quite a bit old, even when he started.
However, in this, you could hear the television Sixth Doctor in there.
Oh, right.
There was a tone to his voice. Suddenly, there it is. That's what you need for the Doctor. It's it was lovely to hear. So it's down to you. If you like Blake 7 and you love Colin Baker, it's worth it because he's in all of this, being very loud indeed. Go and get it. If not, then don't. I'm not a huge Blake 7 fan. I enjoy watching it, but the audios are possibly, unless it's the full gang, the audios are possibly a little bit.
So how many people are in this one? Is it two-hand or is it?
Oh no! It's all full cast jobbies.
Okay, but only 2 regular characters that we do. 1 regular character plus.
And Baben, yeah. Yes.
Baben, yeah.
Yeah. To my knowledge, remember, I haven't really listened to the first 2 at all.
Yeah, but it should be obvious fairly quickly who's.
Yeah. They haven't got many to choose from. It's a bit like
No,
watching
not
the opening
anymore.
credits of Dad's Army now. He's
Yeah.
dead. He's dead. He died first, didn't he? So, I wish I could give a better review than that, but I'm afraid I can't. It just wasn't for me. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean it's bad, though, and it doesn't mean it's not for you. You know, if you want, go and get it and make your own mind up. Quite frankly. Just get the download. Why not? So, that's that. All day, watch them all fall. Sorry. All day, I have been earwormed.
Aldi. All right, yep.
Earwormed by a piece of music that ends up going into another piece of music and possibly a third piece of music. It's the theme tune to Star Cops.
Yeah.
Easy.
Without you.
Easy without you.
So, episode
It's
2
quite
of
hefty,
Star
isn't
Cops. Nathan Fillion's still finding his way in space. He's not gone to the moon base yet.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion? Nathan Spring. Sorry.
You've been very young by this point.
Thank you, Christian. I'm glad it was recognisable. Yes, Nathan Spring. He's still working his way towards going full time. Unfortunately, somebody bumps off his girlfriend.
Yeah. Hence making the theme tune make sense.
That would mean actually listening to it rather than fast forwarding through it.
I shouldn't do that. Great visuals on the opening credits.
Oh yes, I agree with you there very much. So I like as I said last week, some of the shots, especially the space shots, were superb with the astronauts flying through. You could hardly tell any fringing or anything else like that. It looked good,
Yeah.
especially
Some
for
of
its
them, anyway.
time.
Yeah, and we finally get to the moon as well. There's a lot of good moon shots coming up.
Yep. Takis is in it.
Yeah, Colin Davis.
Thank you very much. I couldn't
Trevor
remember his name.
Cooper. Yeah.
He's
Trevor
in it a
Cooper.
lot from now on.
Yes.
Did you know
He's
he's a
thick.
regular?
Sorry?
He's thick, and he knows
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Or as he says, thick.
Thick. Yeah. I'm
Thick.
I'm thick.
He is indeed. Some people
And
like
indeed,
him
I was
thick.
watching.
Well, his style of investigation seems to be involve lots of just shouting at things.
Yeah.
He's a man after your own heart. Quite
Yeah,
frankly.
In many ways, he's quite like,
You like angry
Nathan
shouting.
Spring. Because they're both quite old-fashioned coppers,
Coppers,
as they
yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
They don't pay attention too much to the computer. Spring at one point says, "You want to ask a computer what questions to ask me, won't you?" And
Yes,
Yeah.
don't
yes,
get the
yes.
impression that Davis would ever do that.
Do you want to dial up the computer here and find out what your questions are?
Yeah. But Davis is not that sort of guy at all, which is maybe why Spring takes to him in an odd sort of way.
It's weird, isn't it? Because they don't get on, and yet
No.
you know, at the end of it, he says, "I was thinking of asking you for a job."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets one.
Well, this is it. This is the second setup episode.
Yeah. And again, we only really have 2 Star Cops as well.
Yeah, and there is something I noticed this in the first series. First episode. I noticed this more so in this one. There is something jarring about the writing, the way events move.
Really? Okay.
As a,
I'm so used to it. Maybe don't notice it
it's a
anymore.
case of that's a bit of a jump. It's a bit like watching
like-
Brian Donley's Quatermass in the Hammer films.
I mean, like the
making-
way that Spring disappears on Earth suddenly.
Yeah, and stuff
seeing
like that. They
Yeah, I don't
chuck
mind
in.
that,
I think they chucked in a thing about saying, "Well, that was 6 weeks ago," but it needed at least a caption to say 2 weeks later or whatever.
I don't.
It's
either that-
going down the Empire Strikes Back line if we're not careful.
I don't think it's really an issue. I mean,
don't
unless you want to see
Bugs me.
lots of shots like 2001 of people in transit. You know.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. You just do a gentle crossfade with a caption. And
That's a bit cheesy.
that was Chestnut. Also, I noticed they're going to have to wait 8 years to solve the crime.
Yeah,
I love
And the guy
concept.
he thinks doing it said, "Don't go anywhere for 8 years."
I said last week mistakenly it was 2.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten it was 8. 8 years. Yeah.
8 years, yeah.
and we'll
however,
never know.
Sorry.
We'll never know unless Big
Yeah.
Finish do it.
They haven't covered it in Big Finish, I don't think, but they must be getting to the point where the ship must be
2035.
returning.
Oh, they've gone that far.
2035 is when they're going to uncover the crime of
Yeah.
Monsieur Patton, who was French.
Just wanted to test his cryo units, didn't he?
Yeah.
On human subjects.
I do have to say though,
Yes.
I know he was moon-based coordinator,
Yeah.
but even so, how do you manage to wangle cargo of that nature, which is on board okay, so in Star Cops,
Tell
Yeah.
them, hang on, Andrew, tell them what this actually is, what this cargo is, what he's trying to do.
Right. So the whole story is it opens up with a shot of a standard kind of bog standard, very boring looking freighter making its way to Mars, and the thrusters kick in when they're not supposed to.
Yep.
Now, technically, this means the two crew are inverted commas dead
Yeah.
because
Hence the name
they're not getting back to Earth anytime soon. Nathan Spring has a bit of an argument with Theroux when Theroux says the crew's dead and investigations are underway by the crew. And Nathan's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" We're still in the era of Nathan needing to learn a lot of stuff. Anyway, it turns out they just so happen to have some cryogenic suspension gear on board the ship.
No,
convenient.
surely not.
Which was on its way to Mars. Now, in Star Cops, the idea of putting things into space, people do travel between space and Earth in quite casually, you know.
Yeah.
But even the Mars base, it's so far out there. How do you wangle getting any kind of cargo on board that thing without some serious backhanders to somebody, you know?
Maybe that's what happened. Presumably he isn't on his own. He must be the head of some kind of corporation or something.
Yeah. There's a lot of corporate sort of fraud going on in this series.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, Theroux stumbles across the fact that this cargo, no one's expecting it on Mars, and lo and behold, it just so happens to work with the systems of this freighter. Ooh, how
it could
mysterious!
possibly save their lives.
That's lucky, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
And Patton, who's the moon base coordinator, has been refused a license for human experimentation.
Here you go.
So it's all making sense now.
Yeah. That's very much the B plot.
Yes, the A plot is basically Nathan Spring's girlfriend getting killed dead.
For nefarious reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the politics of it all as well.
Yeah.
It's very Cold War again. It's very spy.
It is.
Side almost. Yeah.
Spy versus spy.
They basically decide to have a go at him because of his new position. And because he is in the unique position of there's an American space station, a new American space station that's been launched, just a little one.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
they've got lots
This
of
was
them.
in the last episode, wasn't it? Yes.
But nobody there, and they're refusing to tell anybody what it's for.
But it's a civilian.
And it's the bad guy from last week ended up getting too close and got taken out.
That's this episode.
Was that this episode?
Yeah. And so basically, in an effort to find out what it's about, they kill Nathan's girlfriend so that he's got a reason to chase the murderer. The murderer then decides to flee to this American station in an attempt to expose what they've discovered about it.
That's what it's about.
But Nathan has him killed instead.
Yeah.
Can't see why.
I did love his he goes a bit mad on the shuttle and the acting on that is great as well.
And this is, I mentioned last week that they, in the series of Star, they do take a couple of liberties with flying around from here to there. So there just so happened to be an orbit vehicle around which they could use, and without having to file a flight plan or anything like that, they just jump in it and fly off.
They're the police.
I suppose that's true. I would like to reassure the pair of you, I am enjoying it.
Oh, good.
I know I
think it's
a
a
couple
great
of faults
episode.
with it, but I am enjoying it.
I love the way the story comes together and all makes sense.
I did watch the Cult of Star Cops, which is a BBC Two programme, and they're on YouTube, the whole cult of, there's Blake Seven, there's
Tripods.
Two Tripods, etc., and Star Cops. And some interesting behind-the-scenes fact, the fact that they basically had two production teams. You had Graham Harper's lot who come in, I think, from episode 4.
Something like that.
And they changed the lighting. Graham Harper gets the lighting in the studio down to the lowest it's ever been. How he did that without an electrician strike is anybody's guess, but good on him. It was a constant battle for directors who were doing sci-fi. Apparently everything's got to be brightly overlit in the 80s. Light entertainment standards.
There's one episode where I don't think that works terribly well. In episode 4, it's achieved quite successfully. And I would also episode 4 also we actually finally get to go on board the main American space station, which is
Yeah.
absolutely
Spoilers!
massive.
Spoilers!
It's massive.
Spoilers!
It's massive.
Well, it might be, but spoilers!
It's just a location, doesn't matter.
Location.
Yeah.
Oh, I am enjoying Star Cup, so I'm looking forward to seeing the next one, which will be tonight when I eat my faggots and chips.
Good one.
I put on a couple of pounds.
Is
I've got to
Intelligent Listening for Beginners. Oh, yes, good one, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that sort of said was that Chris Boucher, who created the show and wrote a lot of the scripts, didn't get
very
on at
different.
all with the producer. They hated each other.
No.
Nope, they hated each other.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think it's the producer who's the only one who likes the theme.
Possibly.
The cast don't. Boucher doesn't.
I wonder how different it would have been had Boucher actually been proper showrunner. If
Yeah.
he had been producer.
Listen
I'm
to
not
modern day slang coming in.
Yeah. It would have been a bit different. And I so love what we have. I wonder how much I would have liked what he would have done. It would have been different. But
Did
then
you-
my favourite scripts are all his scripts, so
Yeah, the same.
Boucher was a superb Who writer. He was also pretty good at Blake Seven as well.
yeah.
And I
he
mean,
nailed
that's-
Blake Seven.
he ended up script editor there.
Yeah.
In terms of the model shots, I liked. What did you think of the sort of all the shots of the freighter? It was just a voiceover.
Yeah, it's quite well done.
Nicely done. Yeah.
It was
Budgetary,
interesting.
but
But
Yeah.
it's all right. And the model shot was well enough done to be able to carry it.
And also, we get to see a moon rover for the first time. You see quite a lot of those as the series goes on.
I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's when the moon base was listening into the conversation, and we see that David's arrived at the moon base, and there was a shot of the moon rover cresting a hill, and the moon base is in front of them.
Ooh, yes, I do remember that.
really good shots there.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it's a very canny move for them to shift ISPF to the moon
Yeah,
because he tried his best, David Calder, doing that zero G stuff, and
He
the
was
way
saying
they
he actually said, "Look, I can act this rather than put me on."
yeah, and they tried to sell it a bit by doing weird angles of the camera.
yeah.
A lot of the time they don't. They just have the camera.
It's 1980s BBC. The cameraman was probably pissed after lunch.
Yeah, it did get a little tricky. So I'm glad they went to the and it will stay there. Although they will obviously venture off.
Brian, did you enjoy it? We can find out.
Yeah.
Yes or no answer, Brian. I like this. This is a good way of doing it. Hello, Arthur.
And this is our first base coordinator gone.
yeah.
There's a bit of a running,
gag, is there?
particularly in the big finishes. We get through a couple more base
Chikar's
coordinators.
aid all over again.
Well, in the TV series, the new base coordinator kind of becomes not a main character, but a regular.
Is he the big Russian chap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Kravenko.
great. Yeah, Kravenko is great. He turns up in episode 4. A very timely one for that. They get a very political one.
Okay.
Yes.
I got episode
Yeah.
3 to watch. I'm looking forward to that. So far next week we've got Doctor Who Mind Warp. We're doing the Peter Davison Big Finish set Doctor Who 40, celebrating 40 years of Peter David Stone. He kissed my Muppet.
On its head.
And there we go. Brian was going to watch it this morning. His skull decided that exploding was a better idea.
Oh, Space Mumps, eh?
I had space mumps. Oh, do you remember that time I had space mumps? It was terrible. I narrated a Mr. Dalek. I think it was Mr. Dalek. The one I did Mr. Dalek's Christmas Bad Wolf for, the music. It's a Karen one. It's written like the Doctor's Use one.
We're still up there.
Yeah. And you can hear I got stuffed up sinuses. Space herpes. Right, so that's Star Cup's thumbs up from all three of us and not Brian.
Definitely.
Now then.
Now then.
Let's not go there. The crew of Scorpio,
Oh, yeah.
they hear a transmission from Servalan.
They heard a cry.
That was her. And it's obviously a fucking trap, but they go walking right into it. Basically, Servalan has hired this assassin called Cancer to kill them. And I'll be honest with you, Cancer comes fairly close.
Yeah.
Avon beams down, and as a slave, there's a slave auction going on, which...
He's in his gimp gear by this point, so it makes sense.
Well, no. We've switched costumes now. Everybody's in their second costume. For some of them, Villa and Tarrant, for example, that'll last through till the end. Sulin as well, I think. But for Avon swaps back to the studded jacket towards the end.
Yeah.
Tarrant's missing some buttons in this one.
Oh, dear.
Ooh.
Sloppy. What do we make of Tarrant in this one?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, good enough. Fair enough. Andrew Mark Thompson just put out a punchable Tarrant toy. Which is...
Tarrant falls in love.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does it every fucking time. He can't help himself. I mean, Tarrant reminds me of a Panto Prince. He just
Oh, no, he
does.
What, because he's behind you?
Oh, God, no. Scared. May Tarrant be with you. Right, I gotta get the tears out. This is Assassin. Features, and I'll say it again, Richard Hurndall in a nappy, which John Nathan Turner saw and thought, oh, that reminds me of Bill Hartnell. I will be honest, I think Richard Hurndall gives a far better performance in this than he does in The Five Doctors.
Well, he's not trying to play
Somebody
else.
else, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I would... okay, I'll come on to it when I talk about it.
All right, okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention my Ravolox complaint.
Oh, have you had it seen too? I know the NHS has waiting times at the moment.
In the opening episode, the Doctor says it's in a different galaxy.
Yes,
Later on, they say they moved it 2 light years.
yes, which is this galaxy.
Well,
It's hardly moved at all, frankly. Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah.
causing a fireball nearly wiped out all life on the planet.
Yeah, well.
Then does it
Anyway.
go back to where it came from? When time for its sun to expand? I don't know.
If it was a new series, he'd just tow it back, but it's
There's something in a book. There's something in a book about it being restored at some point. I can't remember which book it was or where I read it.
Yeah.
Might have been in the History of the Time Lords.
This a BBC books after New Adventures.
No, I think Sin's going. Possibly he's either talking about History of the Universe. But
No, there's a History of the Time Lords book.
Oh, is there? I know there's the
Yeah.
Gallifrey Chronicles. Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh, is that what I'm thinking about? Maybe that's what I'm
John
thinking
Peel
about.
hardback from mid-90s, early to mid-90s.
Could be that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Anyway.
That was a Virgin book, and he decided that the other was in fact the Doctor going back in time to...
Yeah.
And it's
How wrong.
No, John, sorry, love, you got that wrong. Oh, we
This is the
appreciated the War of the Daleks thing we did for Staggering Stories. We did using the the board game. A friend of ours had done a New Adventures cover for War of the Daleks using the War of the Daleks board game, and so we wrote a thing explaining what happened, tying it into New Adventures continuity. And oh yeah, and I showed him that, and he laughed.
It's all worth it.
Well, damn straight. Assassin. Bit cheap. It could be
BBC.
tighter. The acting in certain places could be better. Basically, the woman who played Cancer. Ooh, I've given it away.
Oops.
Yeah. But she was playing a character. So okay,
yeah, but when
wasn't-
she switched over to herself, she still seemed a bit naff.
When she becomes Cancer, she's so over the top. It's
Well, to be fair, and that leads me to the question of How much scenery has Paul Darrow chewed this week? And is that ham I see around his gut?
So let me just make this point. They go to the planet Domo
Yep.
to intercept Cancer, who's got a contract to kill them.
Yes.
They
So
don't
they-
know.
yeah.
They don't know what Cancer looks like,
Nope.
how old Cancer is.
Nope.
And Avon immediately befriends Nebrock and says, "Yeah, fuck it, come up to the ship."
Yeah.
Leads me to question number 3. How's Avon's mental health in this episode?
He doesn't
We're
care
watching it
anymore.
in this series. We're watching it in this series.
He doesn't care anymore.
You think not?
I don't think he does. It's just the constant, overwhelming assault on his senses and his self-being and his the fact that he could be killed at any minute. He's lost it.
Well, Callie kept going on at them that they needed a rest,
Yes.
and they just haven't really had that rest. And
Well, we know.
I mean, the post-traumatic stress these people must be under.
Yeah.
To be fair,
He could have shot Servalan dead right there, and he didn't even seem to try and go after her at all.
universe without Servalan, Birdie, where I was thinking about. So, did we talk to us about Adam? Talk to me about Assassin. Is there anything you want to say?
Kind of good fun in its own way. A lot of here. Let's run around these sets. The Hot Black Desiato ship.
Sorry, I'm
it's
just
kind of
googling
fun
something.
in its own way, but yeah, I don't know it amounts to much, but it seemed to be fun at the time. I don't know, because I know this for so long, can't remember if I was surprised by the revelation who Cancer was. It seems so blatantly obvious now, but
Yeah, it
maybe,
does, doesn't it?
maybe wasn't at the time. Yeah, the guy with the Noel Edmonds beard was maybe a bit too on the nose to be.
Yeah, he was
Cancer.
very 80s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Forgive me. I'm just looking at the list of... Oh, we got a good one next week. Well, I seem to remember it being a good one.
Games.
Yep, games. Then sand, then gold. So 3 good ones in a row. I can't remember if... Well, it's got Stratford John in. Stratford John's in. Used to be Barlow in Z Cars and Softly Softly, and then obviously Monarch in Fort to Doomsday. So we got a run of 3. Well, at least I can't remember how good games is, but you say sand is great. It's your favourite, I think, or second favourite. Second favourite. And I do enjoy gold simply for Roy Kinnear. Who's brilliant. Roy Kinnear being Roy Kinnear. I'll have to explain to Brian at some stage that Roy Kinnear's he's dead now. He was a comedy actor in the 60s and 70s, little fat bloke. His son, Rory Kinnear, is big in the Bond films.
Tanner, yeah.
He plays Tanner. He was in something else as well. He always...
Roy Kinnear died on set making a Three Musketeers film.
He did.
With Oliver
Horse-
Reed, yes, quite right. Did Oliver Reed have anything to do with it? Do we know? Was there alcohol involved? It's Oliver Reed. Let's think
I
about that.
believe it was a studio fuck up and someone got sued.
All right. Oh.
Oh, dear me.
Didn't bring it back, though. Yeah.
No. So, yeah. Next week, then, Mysterious Planet, Doctor Who 40, Star Cops Episode 3, title of which escapes me.
Intelligent listening for beginners.
Is that a Philip Martin one?
No, it's Boucher again, isn't it?
Is it? Okay.
It's probably the last of the scene setting stories.
Okay.
Because we're about to meet Pal Kenzie.
Properly, yeah.
Very similar way to what they did with Blake 7.
Yeah.
Kind of.
The way they set that up, the first 3 episodes was meeting the crew, getting the ship, etc.
Yeah. There's a lot of between the line stuff with Star Cops.
What, between the line stuff? What, is the wee donkey there as well?
Because
Can I just mention something about next week's Blake 7?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, go on.
It was filmed. Part of it was filmed at the same place they filmed Destiny of the Daleks.
We will go there. We are going to go there. However, I'll want to bring Spiridon Daleks, and I know you'll want to bring accurate Daleks.
I want to bring Destiny Daleks, which means I need to bring about 4 totally different looking ones.
One of which has a really strange back to it.
Yeah. And I want to bring the correct TARDIS and see if we can find where they materialised.
Some of it is off limits now, I think. But it is open to the public, but I think it's tours. I don't know. This could be be a part of Glorious Project 3.
Could be.
Project Ethel. Is it Project Ethel or Operation Ethel? It's a Glorious Project. Is it an operation? Or do we still...
Project.
Project, okay. Yes. We've got to start looking at that. There's a couple of things I want to do. I need some moody police box shots, quite frankly. Right. We're thinking of doing miniature work on Glorious Project 2. It'll be cheaper and won't look any different.
And I can get multiple wheelie bins in the back of my car that way.
Yes. Oh, dear me. Tut, 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 tut. We need to double check the original videos. Because, like I say, you're going to be wearing my 9th Doctor leather jacket if you're okay with that. But I can't remember if Rod Hull wore a scarf as well as Emu wore a scarf.
Rod, he actually had the scarf on. Emu
Right.
didn't have the scarf, in the one I've seen anyway.
Okay, well, there's 2, so we'll double check. Christian says, love a moody police box shot. So do I. We need to get some sort of... Well, we can use your brick background from Action Man. It'd certainly at least be a lot smaller than real bricks.
I think they're out of scale from Action Man anyway.
It's a shame we can't get a lamp. That's, oh well. I have to see about that. I have to start seeing about lighting. Yes, I have plans. If we can do this now we've got... Forget that. I'm so sorry. This is selfish. Now we've got the things I love, which are the Spiridon Daleks and a proper police box. It's photo time.
Six
But I
of the
can't
buggers.
do it on my own. Oh, we got 10 all in all. Count them. 11, 12, 13, 14. Including the Supreme, 2 invisible Daleks, and the lighter grey one. That character options released with a talking chip in it. Which disappointed me because I was hoping it would be dark, but it wasn't. But hey, it's still accurate to the show. There is one lighter hero Dalek in that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing Glorious Project 3. I think maybe not immediately because it's bloody cold. However, if we want to get some night shots in, which I think we might do, it might be an idea to do it whilst the evenings are still long. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
We could get a very nice revelation shot with a TARDIS if it snows.
Yeah, now which TARDIS would we... Well, we'd have to use a Yardley Jones box, one of your Yardley Jones boxes. Trouble is, the light was modified for that. That's what paint... I was going to say paint box or Photoshop. It ended up as paint box, which I think is something else as well.
Quantel, that...
I'm sorry, I'm reading the DWM at the moment and all their stuff about computer effects and how it started out, so I'm getting my words mixed up. I'm being inundated with words. Curse them. Yeah, I look forward to that. I've got to admit, and I also look forward to the filming of Dr. Emu. It's a case of I need to watch them properly again to see, because I don't think Rod Hull has any proper dialogue in it.
Not the one, no, not the one I've
proper dialogue.
Though you might hear the occasional "Don't get off it" or something like that. Hello, Arthur Cat. Hello. What are you doing, Splodge? Oh, he's
Splodging.
looking at me sadly. They got biscuits down, but they're being gits. It's because I gave them chicken last night, and I promised them chicken tonight, and they know. Yes, you
Shot
do,
collars.
don't you? Where have you gone now?
Plenty of shot collars.
There's Charlotte. Oh, there you are. Hello. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, you are. Gets chased by Chestnut terribly. Ow, legs. Trying to think of anything else. The Telos publications, New Adventure. New Adventures book. It's about 25 quid. It's a coffee table book. Lots of lovely art from the covers of the New Adventures, some of the missing adventures, and some of the Benny stuff. And so it's a history, a background history.
Benny.
Stop it.
Benny.
Remember, we said this last night. You may say that for Benny. For me, it's what is that, Miss Diane? Christian's gone not from what I remember, to be honest. I'm guessing, and this is an amazing feat of memory for me, I'm guessing he's talking about Rod Hull talking in Dr. Emu.
Ah.
But you're going to have to do a lot of exaggerated double takes and the like. And lots of frantic running.
I know.
Which I can't do. Yeah, I mean, we could just easily film it around your local streets. They must be... Oh, no, down from there, my love. Down from
It has crossed my mind that if I was to... I could fake a fake arm if I was... I've worked out how to do it using an
Isn't there an Italian man who did that because he's vaccine?
Really?
Yeah, it didn't
Apparently,
work. He got done for it.
If I get an old jacket and put a slice round about here, I can have my arm coming out through Emu, and I can stuff the fake arm and make it look proper.
Yeah. Wayne Marigolds.
Okay, well, I'm thinking, hang on a second. Right, that would mean putting something over underneath the leather jacket. Am I correct?
Well, probably. I've got my
Which
own
means that the arm would need a leather coating to it.
Chocolate coating.
I'm making a job for ourselves here. I'd forgotten about the whole arm thing. I was just going to say, don't worry about it. It's, it's one of Emu's babies. It's the 9th Doctor Emu. I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
Emu's daughter.
Oh, don't open that. We'll have hashtag NME.
The Emu dances.
Not my emu. Or we can make him very sad. And we can have Dr. Emo. Stop it, pair of you. Oh, hello, this is interesting. It's Arthur and Socks. Now, the pair of them don't know how to play properly with other cats. They're not very good at it, so they end up growling, and you can fuck off as well. That's Chestnut. He's seen what's happening. He's coming to assert dominance.
Well, my two are sat on either end of the L-shaped sofa, just looking at each other.
The snores were very quiet, but they were there. Sorry, Sin posted a thing. Right, now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Whilst Brian is still here, I hope he's still here. We've already talked about it, haven't we?
What?
Doing Capaldi.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten we'd had that conversation. That's the sausage and egg sandwich I had earlier. It must be. Ah, dear. So,
Rather rank.
what are you doing next week, guys? Adam?
I've got to watch all 8 episodes of 80 Days Around the World. Got to watch all the special features for season 18 of Classic Coup. That should keep me busy.
I have no sympathy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have no sympathy. Mind you, I say that I'm the one with absolutely nothing to do, so I just look for something to fill the void. Whereas you work your arse off, and then you do this. But it's your own choice. I've said it before. Can't blame but yourself. Sinister, what are you doing this week?
I've got to put myself through Mind Warp.
That's true.
For Runic. Yeah. Has to be done. I mean, I can fudge it quite easily.
Oh,
I can bluff my way through this. I have to go back and watch it.
I could easily talk about it without seeing it.
Yeah,
I know.
I quite happily talk about it without seeing it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. Oh,
Maybe
and when we get to Terror of the Vervoids,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask. I don't know if you're going to be in on this, Adam, or not, but if you are, great. Ask the pair of you and Brian, to keep an eye on Janet the stewardess.
Yolanda Palfrey.
I remember a bit of crush on her at the time.
The
Dead.
reason I say this is there
dead.
is a.
She died very young.
Wow.
Sad.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's a theory that Janet is the murderer all along.
Oh, okay.
It's a case of watching her. Oh, we're now putting our viewers through it now. Christian's just gone, oh heck, I've got to watch Mind Warp.
Got some interesting Quantel effects in it.
Paint box.
Paintbox, indeed.
Yeah. Again, going back to Diesel again. Yeah, that could be. Well, that could be a thing. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do after this. I would like to start hitting those Capaldis, but I don't think we're going to do them week after week after week. I'm going to drop one in order. I'm just going to drop them in between classics stuff. At some stage, and I want to do it during the run of Star Cops, just to make, well, Brian certainly appreciate the show more, is an episode of Moonbase 3.
Can we do it the one where they think the Earth's been involved in a war and they're just sitting there talking about what they're going to do for the whole?
Is there a Moonbase 3 one that's done that? That does that?
I'm convinced.
I'll have a
there's an
look. I've
episode.
got them. I've got, well, whatever there is of it.
I had them all on VHS, but I got rid of my tapes a long time ago, and I never bothered upgrading. But I'm convinced there is an episode where they lose communication with the Earth. They're convinced there's been a war, and they spend the whole episode talking about what they're going to do.
Sounds
bottle
more
episode.
exciting than the episodes I've seen. Which is basically, we're back to Evil Mind.
It's
Massive
not an
multiplayer
exciting. Did
spreadsheet.
you know there was a lot of confusion when Star Cops came out because there's a character in Moonbase 3 called David Calder.
Really? Oh,
Oh,
weird.
wow.
And the actor David Calder plays Nathan Spring.
Not
and
Nathan Fillion.
People thought it was Star Cops was a continuation of Moonbase 3, and they got the names mixed up somehow.
Right. Yeah.
If we ever get round to doing the adventures of the Space Goat, the moon is going to be cluttered with moon bases.
What is
Yes.
it with you and goats?
Well, it'll be you and goats. You started it. Yes. Obviously, we can't have Moonbase Alpha, so we got Moonbase Zeta.
There's the Cyber Moon base on the dark side of the moon in Attack of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
There's Gravitron Moon base.
Yeah.
There's the
Shadow Moonbase.
hang on. There's the one. What's the one in Seeds of Death?
It's just TMAC Control, isn't it?
EMAC Control. Yeah.
But we can mimic all these. I know that the commander of
Death on
Moonbase
the
Zeta.
Moon. Death on the Moon had a moon base.
The commander of Moonbase Zeta is trying to steal the moon.
Oh, Clavius base from 2001.
He's got a thing about vampires. And the old thing of, how come vampires don't get burnt up by moonlight? Because that's still the sun's light. All right,
Yeah.
it's a filter.
Yeah.
But, and the fact we're actually trying to come up with reasons for this is ridiculous. But, yeah, that was going to be fun. There'd be a vampire on the moon base, and the Space Goat wouldn't realise it at all.
One planet I'd go to escape from vampires would probably be Tatooine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said this ever since playing Star Wars Galaxies. The thing is, according to the novel of Star Wars, that's your actual Star Wars, Tatooine has a rainy season and the whole place just becomes green.
Well, actually, in genuine, real life Star Wars lore, Tatooine used to be much like Earth with large oceans, and in fact, this is referenced in the latest episode of Book of Boba Fett.
It is, yeah.
I find it interesting. Was it called Aridus afterwards? Aridius.
No, no.
Should have called it Aridius.
I can't remember how long ago the seas evaporated, but it used to be quite a nice place to live.
We're finding out things. I've got to watch the.
There was a war, wasn't there, something?
That's my. Oh, I forgot to come up with my two contentious issues.
Go on.
I've got two contentious issues. The first one, I'm just not bothering with Boba Fett. I'll probably watch it, but.
You should definitely watch the second episode.
Well, you've said that, so I shall. But I'm not a huge Star Wars fan.
I am.
I gathered. You said that, then the look in your eye was a case of I am. Challenge me. And the other thing is that I saw the latest Ghostbusters movie,
Afterlife.
And quite frankly, I mean, it annoyed me at the time, and it still annoys me. I think the 2016 Ghostbusters film was a better Ghostbusters film than this. I loved the 2016. Ow. It was a comedy, and the best talent of its era, of its age, which is what Ghostbusters had.
It's a tricky one.
You're married to a Ghostbuster. Okay.
I really love the 2016 one.
I'm glad.
But I find it really hard to compare it to the Afterlife because they're
two different
genres.
films, to be fair, yes.
It's not so much a comedy, the new one.
No.
But I love it. I think it's probably my favourite film of the year.
I haven't seen the new one. Don't really have an issue with the 2016 one.
I think it's brilliant. Like I say, you've got the best comedians, if you're going to put it that way. Again, very similar to Ghostbusters. They came from Saturday Night Live. Then you got Chris Hemsworth, who's just brilliant.
I
love that film.
I definitely
really
put
do.
that away above Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, I think everything goes above Ghostbusters 2. I mean, I did enjoy Ghostbusters Afterlife. I just didn't think it was as good a Ghostbusters film as the 2016 one.
It takes its time to get started.
Yeah. And I didn't like the ending.
I liked it.
The ending was as cheesy as fuck. Very Hollywood twee.
I think it's good.
Oh, Brian, I'm so sorry. What a shame you're not on the show so people can hear what you're saying. Oh, dear. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking the Buccaneer needs a Rubik's Cube, and that Rubik's Cube lights up.
I'm thinking it's the key to time.
Raking or sweeping, Turno. Oh, dear. We've done the key to time. We're going to start running out of Classic Who at some stage.
Oh, not anytime soon.
I don't know. We've done 100 shows so far. I mean, Stones of Blood was the 150th story. Or the 100th story, I can't remember.
Gotta be 100th, surely.
Ooh, where's Steven Shapansky when you need him?
Yeah. Because if
Or Toby.
200 was Planet of the Dead, there was how many? There were a good few by that point, weren't there, of New Who?
Yoo-hoo.
Not
Has
good.
I'm
anyone-
just watching you figure this out. This is great
I
fun.
don't know, but
Two questions I've
Hello.
got now.
Yes.
Two questions.
Yes.
Firstly, has anyone actually done a runtime comparison between Flux, Trial of a Time Lord, and Dalek Master Plan to see if it is
Somebody
the longest
must have done.
to see if
Someone
it is
must
the
have done.
story ever?
Someone must have done, and I don't think Flux beats the Dalek's Master Plan.
Are you counting Mission to the Unknown as part of that
No, I'm
story?
No, I'm
Okay.
how
not.
many episodes was that?
12.
12.
12,
12.
25 minutes, whereas 6,
Well,
Yes, but if
45 minutes, but there's a couple of hour-long ones as well.
yeah, if you cut off the opening and closing titles and any recaps, what's the running time?
probably average of 20, 21
I
minutes.
should imagine somebody has done that. This is what Twitter is for.
Second question. Big Finish must have done more stories than TV Doctor Who.
Oh, Christ.
Yes.
Yeah.
They finished
they-
the main range in 175, didn't
Oh,
they?
that reminds me. I need to bring the legal forms over to you, Sin. The lawsuit against Big Finish for putting us through slavery,
Oh.
overwhelming us with stuff to review. It's abuse. That's what it is. It's abuse.
I think they know something we don't know.
Very probably. I suspect they do.
I think they know the end of the world's coming and they want to get it all out quickly.
Always cheerful.
Yeah.
Ah, dear me. Well, that was fun. Feedback. Nope, fuck all feedback again this week. Dalek Sec, we'll give a shout out to Dalek Sec. He always leaves a comment on the YouTube video. Say hello to Dalek Sec, everyone.
Hello, Dalek Sec.
Um,
I'll give you a question again.
yes, please. I like questions. Questions are good.
Your question.
Yeah, what was the answer to
Oh,
your...
well, my question.
1984?
Have you worked it out yet?
Yes. I have worked
Oh, please tell me.
genuinely,
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah, okay.
This time. I'm not messing around this time.
Right, go on.
I was messing around before.
I gathered that.
I think the connection is that John Hurt was in 1984 and John Hurt played the Doctor.
Why did you have to crack up doing that? We could have done that straight face and you corpsed. Do you want the answer?
Please.
Okay, the lyrics were from the chorus of Sex Crime, 1984 by the Eurythmics.
Okay.
And 1984 had Room 101 in it, and we're episode 101.
Can you hear bit 3, 2, 1, isn't there?
Auntie thinks
Dusty
about
bin.
these things.
Yeah.
Auntie knows what she's doing. I pick and choose these lyrics.
Ted Rogers would be proud.
It's the John Levine stuff at the end of the show. I can't improvise more. Sin, could you come up with any John Levine stuff? Because you can do the voiceover at the end. I'll just cue you in.
I haven't got one ready.
We're not doing it yet. You've got time to think, goddammit.
Okay. I've got one.
Right, okay, I will cue
I've got
you in.
one.
Just
It's
keep
a
an eye on.
fucking good one as well.
Oh, good. Is it going to get us sued?
No.
The
best ones do.
then. Hopefully Katie will still be speaking to me. Oh, she's going to be at Capitol. So's Peter Purvis. I need to see Peter Purvis. And I need to see Carol Ann Ford.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous, Carol Ann Ford, after last time.
Yeah, she's a bit
And as
intense.
for as for Janet Fielding. Yeah. William Russell, on the other hand, was an utter gentleman. Did you have to do that? Right then. So next week, Adam, what are you up to?
Done this.
Have we?
Yeah,
Stuck in a chronic hysteresis. Yes, we're
I'm
stuck
back,
in a
I'm
chronic
back.
hysteresis. One of my favourite songs, that. That never gets
refer the
annoying.
honourable member to the answer I gave some moments ago.
I am not a member, honourable or otherwise. Dear me. I enjoyed that. It's finished too soon. I don't want it to finish. I'm trying to think of things
all
to
good
say.
things.
Yeah. It's only 1 hour, 40 minutes.
Only?
Only, yeah. It goes so quickly. And you've got to remember, this is the only social interaction I have all week. So, and it's nice because you're not actually here. Hopefully, Sin, I'll give you a ring and I'll be able to come up and ferry Brian's present up to you this week. It still hasn't arrived. But as we said, we think it's because of COVID.
It's got COVID, is it? It's how we isolate.
Oh, the other thing Adam and I were talking about was doing some gaming at our local comic shop. And
Yeah.
we were wondering if you were interested.
Me?
Bit of a long way to come. But yeah.
Well, fair enough. I mean, it'd be easier for us to come to you, to a comic shop near you.
I don't think there is one near me.
It's,
What sort of gaming?
well, it's anything really, Adam.
Well, yeah. They've got just tables there for board gaming. Bring your own, I assume, or they library.
And it's either various games that you can have. You can do Warhammer, I suppose.
If you got the armies for it.
What's the Star Trek one with the ships? Pretty sure I
Uh,
saw Will
It's
Wheaton do that.
It's out of date now, but I've got a complete. I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of first edition X-wing miniatures.
I've got a good few of those too. The
They
first.
can't be out of date. The rules might be, but the miniatures.
Yeah, they
can't
get out
be.
second edition. Yeah.
The rules are out of date,
Yeah,
and
but
you
the
need,
miniatures are. That's
But
all you need.
I've got all the cards. I've got all the cards sleeved. I've got multiples of all the fighters. I've got all the big ships. I've never played it.
No, nor me. I've got a few, but never.
Well, we should change that then. Let's dig
Yeah.
the rule book out. What's this?
It's a Polaroid,
It's,
double Polaroid.
I think it's Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. When I was
I've
working at
actually
Milk,
got-
we
I've
had.
actually got quite a few games. I've got a zombies game involving tiles that you lay out and you make a city and you got to escape the zombies.
What was
Oh,
that
yeah.
game? Was it Alien Brood?
Oh, Pandemic. I've got Pandemic.
A classic, and very of the time. Yeah.
What
I've
was
got
that-
quite a few games here, just
what
no
was
one to
that
play with.
Alien
Oh,
game
I've
you
got
used to
Flick.
watch?
I've got Flick Fleet. Have you heard of Flick Fleet?
No.
Little
I've got-
little plastic spaceships
Yeah.
that flick across the board and put. It's like Space Combat, but it's randomized because you're flicking the ships.
I've got a Star Trek one called Conflict. Star Trek Conflict or something like that.
And
Yeah.
how many pieces have you lost so far?
Haven't played it yet, but
What
my
does MTG
gaming
stand
table is
for?
perfect.
MTG?
What?
What's MTG stand
Magic
for?
the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering.
Ah, I thought it was Mind the Gap.
That too.
Stand clear of the doors, please. I'm available, London Transport. I'm just saying. we can do it as Bill if you like.
I had some friends over a few weeks ago. We were playing Exploding Kittens.
Oh yeah, I've got a copy of that somewhere too. Yeah.
I've never played that. I've played Cards Against Humanity once and got very drunk
I've
whilst playing
got
it.
a massive box with every single expansion of Cards Against Humanity. in it.
Wow.
Have you got the Marvel? Have you got the Cards Against Marvel?
Not that one, no. Just the genuine game.
All right.
They're spin-offs.
Hey, have
No.
I ever shown this on the show? I don't know if I have done. Look,
Yeah, I've got a whole load of.
it's
games.
Mr. Meeseeks. Look at him.
Oh, hello, Mr. Meeseeks. Can you improve my golf swing?
Ah, dear. So I'm just looking along, seeing what junk I've got here. I found the Pertwee I was looking for.
How many Pertwees do you need?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
You've got a Sean, got a John.
Five.
What other Pertwees are there?
I think I've got 6. But I'm not sure where one of them is. And it's another custom job, the mutants. Hang on.
A mutant Pertwee.
Let me just check. I've got a couple. No. That's Demon's Pertwee. I'm sure that's Demon's Pertwee. All right, that's 3 Doctors Pertwee, and it's a custom job rather than the character options version. And that is Demons. I've got one from the Mutants as well. Slightly darker jacket and the red 70s neckerchief.
I don't know how many.
Whatever you want to call it.
No Pertwees, but I do have a Witaka.
I've got
calendar.
a calendar this year. I love the fact it's 2020. Oh, big
Yeah, it's
shout
fancy,
out to Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans.
Yeah, well, you know what happened there, don't you?
They stole the artwork.
They stole someone's
Yeah.
artwork.
Andy
Yes.
Lambert, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he's not happy about people stealing it. So he's glad it's been called out.
Well,
It's going to be a collector's edition, though, isn't it? Collector's, I think.
Disney have been stealing a lot of artwork for use in their comics. Star Wars artwork.
Really? What? They taken and redrawn it or something? Or?
They take like people's original Star Destroyer designs and replicate them and
Oh,
yeah,
right.
it's a big
Wow.
think about it. Been going on for a while.
Intellectual property.
They assume they own anything Star Wars related, I suppose.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
The issue, isn't it, is
Yeah.
they probably do.
Yeah.
It's,
But
tough
I
one, isn't it?
think even if they were just to say, "Oh, thanks to Bob for his inspiration. That
Yeah,
might
a little
be
thing
nice.
like that. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Now, talking of artwork and fan art, that does remind me of a bit of a hoo-ha that occurred on Twitter last night. There was a hoo-ha.
I don't go on. to Twitter anymore.
I know, I don't see Professor Saintly at all. He's never visited this show.
Dare I even look this up? I'm going on incognito mode, I think, to look this one up.
Well, basically, what happened is John Bishop has a new TV show on a Saturday night. This is Evil Dan we're talking about, in case you don't know. And people said at the time of his casting, fandom's going to give him at least 10 years' worth of material for his stand-up. Yes, Christian, it is. And sure enough, something occurred, which split fandom down the middle. Basically, he said in one of his little videos, BBC videos, that he's been told to delve into fan art. So he did. And he showed some pictures of him in Carvanista.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice one of them as pals, then there's one of them a little bit closer, then there's one of them lying together, and then there's one full-on butt sex.
Okay.
This has horrified half of the we. The other half of the we are busy pissing themselves laughing. Which I think is how we should take it.
Yeah.
Up the bottom.
Not up the...
Yeah. So
Hang on.
there was a hoo-ha.
Who is the receiver in this situation?
I believe Dan. It's
Okay.
called Darwinista, you see? You see what they did there?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet we go to Rule 34, whatever it's called, you find all...
And it's interesting they showed it as well. They actually showed the artwork. And the artists, they're not sure whether to go, oh my God, or oh, how wonderful. Dougie on top, Brian. Yeah. It was, I don't know what Christian's replying to there. He's saying, oh yes, Siobhan. Now he's either orgasming or... I don't know. If that's what you cry out, I really feel sorry for your other half. Tell her I'll apologise to her next convention we meet. Right, thinking. I've run out of things to say. Ask me a question, Sinister. You're good with questions.
Why?
Because I say so, shut up and eat your ice cream.
What's your favourite cat badge from the Sixth Doctor?
Oh, that's a good one. Ooh, I quite like the little white one he has at some part during trial. I'm fond of that one. My plans this week. All right, then, what are my plans this week? You're asking me what my plans are. Okay, possibly going to Doctor's... Oh, and the Saga as well, thank you. You see, we need Brian. We do need Brian. Possibly going to Dr. Sinister's, Brian, if your present turns up. And the latest... Cafe Gate. The shop's open again. The cafe's open again. Everything is right with the world. I can go and sit out there in sub-zero temperatures and freeze.
Not really much of an anecdote, is it?
No, it died. But I'm glad it died. The annoying thing is, I just trained the other cafe to make decaf coffee how I like it.
Now you've abandoned them.
I have. I've walked straight back to the other one. Oh, laugh, read the artwork. Damn straight we should laugh about that Carvanista artwork. If we don't, we're going to feed in even further to the public perception of us. If we sit there and laugh at it, about it being on the telly, they'll go, oh, they don't care, that's fine. But if we start going, oh, no, they're going to go, oh, God, shut up.
Hello, Ty. How are you?
Hey, that little cat is very big. He's grown a lot.
He spends a lot of his time sleeping, and I think he's growing again.
Into what?
What?
Zool. I'm looking forward to popping up. I have to admit, I do come away with a smile on my face. Ah, dear, even if it's just hearing Liz go on about how she doesn't like Jodie Whittaker. Ooh, we don't bring that subject up. Right, well, 1 hour 10. No, 1 hour 50. What am I talking about? I think that's pretty good, don't you?
Yeah.
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 Respectable.
Thank you all very much for tuning in. I know one's Brian, one's Christian, and then there's the Russian bot. So I'm guessing that's what it is. Sin, I will cue you for your John Levine.
How are you going to cue me? Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then. Say goodbye.
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 Ta-ra.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Being John Levine, Doctor!
I think before we end the stream... Oh, there's Adam's goat. Before we end the stream, we should point out that Sinister's mic missed the first couple of words of what he was saying. I think it was very possibly the crime was in being John Levine. Am I correct, Sinister?
Yes.
Hooray! See